we found ourselves in Indonesian football using Moneyball and data to try and bring success to the Jakarta International Stadium and Persija. Last time we won the championship, but it didn't look like we'd qualified for the Champions League. But today, we've worked it out. Right then, welcome back to the Jakarta International Stadium. Should we have a little look to see what's been going on? So we had this season where we've won the league again, and we've won the cup, but there was no sign of any AFC competition. So I threw it out to you guys, and a lot of you worked it out way before I did. So basically, I should have seen it. When I went to the rules of the league over here, I did not see it, but when you click on it, it does actually tell you. So if you finish in the top 4, you go into the playoffs. Now, in our first season, we finished 4th. But we won it all, but as you can see, by finishing 4th, you don't qualify for the AFC. However, if you finish top, even if you don't actually win the playoffs, you do qualify for the AFC. My thoughts exactly. Confusion aside, the most important thing now is, as we've won the championship and finished first, we will be in the AFC Champions League next season. And that is confirmed in the season preview odds, where we are odds on favourite to retain our championship. As you can see there, ACL, that means we're in it this season. And it's even in the competitions tab. Thank the Lord. So knowing that, it's time to think about how we can improve for next season. I've identified 3 positions initially. Those are goalkeeper, centre-back and central midfield. All the rest of the positions I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. Now 2 of those 3 positions are because we're losing a couple of our foreign players. Gajos, who has been consistently fantastic as a central midfielder, is leaving us to go back to Poland. And also leaving us is centre-back Kudela, but he is 38 years old now, so it's probably the right time for us to move on from him. And despite the team having a good season, I am looking to replace the goalkeeper because he was great with the ball at his feet, but he did concede too many goals. Transfer budget wise, we've got a decent 369,000 and a good wage budget as well. But remember, it's really important we get our targets early because we've just finished the season on the 25th of May, but the pre-season and the 28th of May has already begun. So anytime now, all this data is going to get wiped for the new season, so we need to build our shortlist ASAP. And that's exactly what we've done with an 8-strong shortlist. And yeah, some of them might be a bit ambitious, but he does have Indonesia as his second nationality, so I can dream. So players I'm looking at include Rashid Fofana, an 18-year-old goalkeeper. Super solid performance, only conceded 25 goals in 24 matches. I've even gone to North Korea to sign Yang Kuk Chol. Now attribute-wise for a centre-back, everything you'd really need. Heading, marking, positioning, decent. He was a scout recommendation and it looked like a no-brainer. I've got a bid in for Japanese forward Kai Hai-Rose. He can literally play anywhere across the attacking positions. This season he's excelled in assists with 0.24. And we did sign 18-year-old goalkeeper Fofana from Burkina Faso. You can really find players from all over the place. This guy came from Sporting Football des Cascades. As you can see from the scout report, he's got massive potential. I'm still signing as many Indonesian players as I can, including Irianto. And I've signed youngster Rudy Saputra, a striker as well. But like I said at the end of last season, I don't need many players, and that's the way the team's going to look this season. Suleiman will come in and get his chance in central midfield. In season 1, they'd sent him out on loan and I was unhappy because his attribute range is fantastic. He's also got 34 caps and 8 goals for Indonesia, and he's a player that should be the mainstay in our team. So Yang Kuk Chol comes in alongside Hubner. We've got like a new goalkeeper, the 18-year-old. Gandolfo is the holding midfielder. Suleiman will break forward, assisted by his various player instructions. Then you've got the attacking three of Pahiri, Malana and Matsumura. Carballo, the absolute goal machine up front. So the confusion about the AFC has finally left us. We are in that competition, and the goal for this season, the sole goal, is see how deep we can get into that competition. So we're going to this season really making minimal changes to the starting 11. And as always, we're going to use the Piala President as the kind of pre-season friendlies, but we lost our first match against rivals Persib. But then the form picked up as we progressed nicely in the competition, and it led to us facing Persib once more, but this time in the final. In the first leg, 2 of our start attacking players combined to give us a 2-1 win, and in the second leg it was the same scoreline, giving us a 4-2 win as we continue to win the Piala President. That's 3 years on the spin we've took down that trophy. Meanwhile, in the league, well, we were starting to really cook. This was the latest victory, a 5-2 away win, with Suleiman from midfield bagging the 5th, and after 10 matches, we were undefeated, winning every match. And it looks like the faith in Suleiman in central midfield has paid off. In that attacking midfield role, he's absolutely flying. So all going well in all competitions, and the big news is we've been drawn in the AFC Champions League group stage. And we will come up against Chiang Rai United from Thailand, Fukuoka from Japan, and Ho Chi Minh City from Vietnam. And as that competition got going, it was great to see Cabello up front took to the step up. 2 goals there against Ho Chi Minh City and a big hat-trick in the 4-0 win of Chiang Rai. In fact, Renzo, the best kept secret on Football Manager, has been great again. 26 goals this season. In fact, the team overall have been nearly faultless. There was one bizarre performance where we lost in the Champions League 6-1 to Chiang Rai United, despite having more shots. It was a rare off day for young goalkeeper Rashid Fofana. That result meant we lost top spot in the group but do qualify in second place with nearly an identical record to the team that finished top. And speaking of top, we are top of our own league still without a defeat, having won 17 out of our 22 matches. And the overall season so far looks really promising. We do go into the Champions League knockout stages, and bizarrely we've drawn the team that we just faced in the group stage. So halfway point, delighted with the season. The performances we're getting out of some of the homegrown players like Bahiri and Malana, outstanding. Indeed, I sometimes have to remind myself that I only signed Bahiri because he was really fast with acceleration of 17 and pace of 16. However, this season, following on from last season, he scored 23 goals and 18 assists, and his overall data chart is outrageous. And the key man yet again down the right hand side has been Gavin Adsit, the absolute best attacking fullback in the league with 18 assists so far this season. That expected assist ratio is crazy, and he's the polar opposite to Jordi Amat on the other side. He's only on support duty, and that's all he concentrates on, because you can see 1 sole assist. And when you look at his data chart, his expected assist is 0.06 because he's concentrating on winning the ball back and doing the defensive work. And that gives us a really good balance, because when we attack, Adsit bombs up there. Amat stays back with the 2 centre backs, in effect giving us a back 3 along with Gandolfo. Everybody else can just bomb on. And attacking play is what we concentrated on for the second half of the season, as in the final of the second cup that we entered, we went and won that one as well. 3-0 over Malu United for a 4-0 aggregate win. That gave us our second cup of the season, the Krating Dieng Piala Indonesia. Meanwhile, now legendary striker Cabello scored his 50th goal of the season, but we did finally lose in the league, and disappointingly it was to our big rivals Persib. But they couldn't stop us completely running away with that first place, as we get another 100 goal season, only losing 2 matches going into the playoffs. But what about that AFC Champions League campaign, because that's what we're all here for. So another Cabello hat-trick got us through 6-3 against Chiang Rai United, which led us to play Kashima Antlers from the J-League. So this is a step up, and it's the quarterfinals, and we conceded in the first minute away in Japan. But just 1 minute later, Suleiman, breaking from midfield, gave us a vital away goal. So into the home leg, and I played young Brazilian Wally, and he came up trumps with the first. Our Japanese opposition equalised pretty much straight away though. But then a mistake at the back led to us getting a really lucky goal, but that was enough to see us through into the semi-finals. And we are staying in Japan and the J-League for Yokohama F Marinos, managed by Harry Kuehl. And to see the scale of the task, this is one of their key players, Nagakura, the striker, who's got a top line value of 9.8 million. And remember my key man, 50 goal striker Renzo Caballo, top value 55k. So off to Japan in the Nissan Stadium, and we shockingly take a lead. And Wally, the Brazilian, has really started to look good. He's only 18, but he lays on the goal for Malana. And we have got them absolutely rocked here, as in the 63rd minute, Wally again down the left, and Matsumura puts in the third. Now Yokohama fought back and got one back, and then on the 88th minute they got what could be a vital second. But we took a 3-2 lead back to Indonesia. Now Yokohama are a good team, and they kind of dominated the match, and Nagakura gave them a lead, drawing it all level. However, in the 94th minute, we're in injury time, youngster Hubner put it in. We win 4-3, and Indonesia's Persija are in the AFC Champions League final. So quite outrageously, we have made the final. The big problem is that it's going to be against big hitters Al Ittihad, the big guns from Saudi Arabia, with Ange Postecoglou as their manager. And if you look at the squad, you can see the drama and the problems that we may have. First off, key player is Jack Grealish, top value 143 million. Also roaming around is Moussa Diaby, Julian Brandt, N'Golo Kante, Fabinho, Ciro Immobile. I mean, let's just stop there. To distract ourselves from that upcoming carnage, we still had the championship playoffs. Annoyingly though, they were going to be sandwiched in between the AFC Champions League final. So in the first leg of the semi-final, we beat Barito Patera 2-1. And in the second leg, it was the same scoreline, with Wale again, the young Brazilian, getting the goal. Remember, he was a scout pickup and they've done a damn good job finding him. In his debut season for us, he scored 9 times with 9 assists. And he's coming up trumps with all the things I want from an attacking inside forward, with assists, goals. So that victory led us to the final against Persib. With the upcoming Champions League final on the way, maybe we just took our eyes off the ball as we lost the first leg 2-1. As we seek our 3rd straight championship, Cabello didn't let us down in the return leg. I mean, that's hilarious, but you take them. And then young goalkeeper Fofana saved the penalty, but Persib were still giving us hell, and they got the second not long after, which meant our big rivals steal the championship off us. Great season overall, but we just blew it in the playoffs. But I'm going to blame the distraction of the Champions League final. Right, another stunning league campaign, but it's always been about this. Can we do it? Can we beat the odds in the AFC? So here we go then. Al Ittihad Club Jeddah in the AFC Champions League final. So here we are, the big match. And then, out of nowhere, Indonesia rose as one as Cabello scored. Unfortunately, Al Ittihad scored 10. In the second leg, they scored another 6 for a 16-2 aggregate win. I mean, the boys tried their best, but remember, their players were all 150 million plus and our top man was 55,000. Despite that, we had some stunning performances through this season. Now, Suleiman had a big job to fill in that central midfield position and he scored 27 times with 24 assists. Outrageous goals and assist record. Indonesian Pahiri with 31 goals and 27 assists. Carballo with a casual 52 goal season. And again from fullback, Adsit, 28 assists. There's not much more we could have done. We've pushed this team to their absolute maximum. And you've got to say, that's a pretty successful period with 6 trophies and 2 championships. And at the end of the day, getting to the Champions League final and finishing runner-up is still a hell of an achievement. Let's just forget about that.